So oh shoot. I did catch one, but I just lost it because I was trying to get the camera going. So actually this water is deep enough, so I'm gonna continue to fish. Maybe that fish is gonna come back. It was a pretty good one too. Anyway. Okay, so the basic idea here is just to cast the line out and let the current, you can see the little current, move it down to the fish. But sometimes your line's going to sink down to the bottom and not get to where you want it to go. So I'm gonna overcast this spot. I've tried a few casts up the front. There doesn't seem to be any fish because it's probably not deep enough. So I'm gonna cast about 3/4 way down and try to get a fish that's holding back in there. I'm just gonna try to steer it down into the current, and I gotta take, so watch the line. See the line's kind of peeling out. That means there's a fish there. You have some time to wait until the fish really takes it in. If you know you're fishing like this, you're fishing to keep the fish. There we go. So you just set the hook. There we go. Now these fish are not huge fish by any stretch, but those are good eater fish. You know, 2 of these, 1 maybe, that'll give you a meal. Now this fish swallowed it. Like I say, when you're fishing like this with the worm and a single hook, you're going to kill fish. This isn't catch and release type fishing. You know, when you're using live bait, the fish swallow the hook more often than not. And by using this technique, you're fishing to catch your meal. So you're gonna let your line sit a little bit longer than normal. You know, if you want to fly fish, go ahead and fly fish. And you can do barbless hooks and catch and release. But I come out here, I basically come to catch my food for my family, myself, and this is a good way to do it. So anyway, I'm gonna take this hook out and I'll re-rig and we'll do it again. Okay, so that's one fish out of this hole. Let's see if we can pull another one out. We're just doing the underhand cast because there's branches behind us. That's more or less just holding, I don't know if you can see my hand, but I'm holding the line in the one hand here. The bail's open. I just swing forward and backwards and aim where I want it to go, and then when it's ready I let the line swing in. And that cast was a little short as to where I wanted it to go, so it might settle on the bottom and not get back far enough. I'll just wait here with the line in the water for a take. Yeah, I'm a little short. Okay, we'll try that again. This time we're going to pitch it a little bit further. There we go. And if we overshoot, we can always pull it back. Now we're just watching our line sit on top of the water. There, we got a take. The line's running. Okay, give it a second. Let the fish take it, feel comfortable with it. Well, that's one of the pitfalls with letting the fish run, is that usually when they run, they'll run underneath something. So you don't want to wait forever for the fish to swallow it. So what happened was that fish went underneath a log or around a log and wrapped himself up and snapped me off. So I got to re-rig. I managed to grab a... I almost lost it in the river. I managed to grab another one out of the top section here, actually in the shallow water, which kind of surprised me. I didn't even think it would be deep enough to hold a fish, but there you go, another nice one. So that's 2 out of this pool, and I'm pretty sure there's another one hanging back because I saw it rise. So I'm going to keep playing this pool. My limit is 5, and 5 makes a pretty good meal for my family of 3. Alright, if you're following all my advice and you're not catching any brook trout, it's because they're not there. I mean, there could be some other reasons that you're not catching them, but if you're using a number 4 hook, a small split shot, 6-pound test line, and you're casting in places that hold fish, brook trout in particular, and you're not catching any fish, it's because they're not there. They're just not there. Brook trout are opportunistic feeders. They don't get a lot of food living in these little creeks. So when a big juicy worm comes flowing down, they're competing against a lot of fish in these locations, and if they don't grab it, it goes by them. And if it goes by them, they've missed their meal. So these fish are sitting in the current, and anything that comes by them that looks edible, they grab. And if they don't grab, it goes behind them. And if it goes behind them, they can't circle back around with minimal energy and grab it. They've got to fight. Well, they can go with the current down, but they've got to fight the current back up to get back in their spot before another fish gets there. If another fish gets there, then they're in a battle with another fish and they're wasting energy. So if you're casting to a place and you don't catch a fish, then move on to the next spot and try again. It means you're just not in the right place for them. Like I said, brook trout are not that difficult to catch if you're in a place where they're located and where there's fish in abundance. So if you're not catching fish, it doesn't mean they're not biting. It just means you're not in the right place. So you need to keep going and try other spots.